I'll be honest. I don't have sympathy for those who may argue in the coming days that this simple, science-driven policy is an unjust burden.
Face masks required in public places in Marion County to reduce the spread of COVID-19. The details you need to know about the mayor's executive order.
I think really do deserve that kind of data.
Families are reacting to the state's sudden decision to release the specific locations of COVID-19 deaths in Indiana nursing homes. Call 6 Investigates is digging into what comes next.
And I call 911 and I get a recording. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
An Indianapolis mother had to wait to talk to a dispatcher after her son was shot. We are working to learn how you can help prevent this from happening to you.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
This isn't complicated. It's a piece of cloth. It's a piece of cloth that could save your life and the lives of those around you.
Mayor Joe Hogsett not mincing words tonight. His message is clear. Indianapolis residents must wear masks to protect themselves and others. Thanks for joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. Starting July 9th, 1 week from today, you will have to wear a mask in Marion County if you are outside your home and in a public place.
It's part of the city's effort to avoid the resurgence of COVID-19 cases happening in so many communities around the nation. RTV6's Cameron Riddle is live downtown with details tonight. Cameron.
Mark, Amanda, good evening. That order coming from Mayor Hogsett's office includes wearing a mask inside of all retail spaces as well as office buildings unless you are alone in your office. The mayor made that announcement this morning along with Dr. Virginia Kane, the director of the Marion County Public Health Department. The city and county will also adopt most of what Governor Holcomb announced on Wednesday as stage 4.5 of Indiana's Back on Track plan. But the mayor says masks in the state's most densely populated county are vital. He acknowledges many people will not like being told to wear a mask, and they may say it's a violation of their rights. But he has a firm response to that claim as we head into the 4th of July weekend.
If you are willfully choosing to not follow this order, you are dead wrong in the fullest sense of that expression. This weekend, we celebrate those who did the difficult things to preserve personal freedom. We don't celebrate those who whined about it.
Well, out here tonight on Mass Ave, you will find at least one business that is not whining about it, and that is Silver in the City. We spoke with the owner, Kristen Cohn, earlier this afternoon, and she says, hey, look, we didn't wait for the mayor to start doing a mandatory mask rule for our staff and customers. It's something they've been doing since May. She says she has to agree with the mayor. There is science behind wearing a mask.
I believe in science. I do. And I believe that all of us have stayed healthy since we've reopened. And I believe that masks by customers, employees 100% of the time is part of everyone having stayed healthy.
Now, that new mask requirement applies to anyone age 3 years and older unless you have a medical condition which would prevent you from wearing one of these. Now, you may note here in Mass Ave downtown, we're still in the middle of the street and there are no cars. That is because Mayor Hogsett has also extended the order allowing street side dining here on Mass Ave, Georgia Street, and on Broad Ripple Avenue at least until July 19th. We're live downtown on Mass Avenue. I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And the city is making it easy to get a free mask. It is partnering with Indigo to distribute free face coverings at the Julia Carson Transit Center downtown. They are available at a pop-up station from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 to noon on Saturday while supplies last. Marion County residents can also request a free mask by going to indy.gov/masks.
Tonight, families, advocates, and state lawmakers are applauding the state's sudden decision to publish where people have died in Indiana nursing homes from COVID-19. Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny has been asking for this information since April, and tonight explains what happens next.
Better late than never. That's what families and advocates have to say about the state announcing it will publish nursing home case and death information 4 months into this pandemic.
We are going to report facility-specific COVID-19 data.
That announcement from the Holcomb administration shocked families, advocates, and lawmakers who've been pushing for months for this information to be made public. Call 6 Investigate started asking in April and even filed a formal complaint with the state's public access counselor to try to get the information released. But the state denied our requests. Wednesday, a change of heart. The state credited groups like AARP and associations representing nursing homes for making the change, saying earlier in the pandemic, the state was focused on testing and infection control within nursing homes. People with loved ones in nursing homes have been asking for the information, and they're relieved a searchable dashboard will be available later this summer.
The center where my loved one passed away in April is one that I believe does a really fine job. Unfortunately, they had a big COVID outbreak in April and May, yet they cared enough for the families and the community around them to be transparent and post that data every day for months. So I'm really glad that the state's finally stepping up and going to be providing that for all Hoosier communities.
Advocates say they hope the database makes it clear when deaths and cases happened in each nursing home. AARP says they hope the data will be used to understand how to better protect people in nursing homes during this pandemic and any other health crisis. We requested a one-on-one, socially distanced interview with Governor Holcomb. We were told he is unavailable. Reporting at the State House, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
We also reached out to the Indiana Healthcare Association, which represents nursing homes. They told us, quote, data reporting can be a burden, particularly in the middle of a pandemic and with brand new reporting tools. However, we know this is important for our residents, their families, and the public, and we are committed to serving them. Again, the specific facility numbers won't be available until later this summer. For now, the state releases weekly updates every Monday on the total number of COVID-19 deaths in nursing homes. The latest number was at 1,166. We do get daily numbers from the state regarding overall deaths and testing. 13 more Hoosiers have died from the virus. Those deaths occurring between Saturday and yesterday. The numbers have gone up and down the past 6 days. 2,469 people in Indiana have died from COVID-19. And the number of positive tests have now topped 46,000 with the addition of 453 today. Now here's Kevin.
I'll take it from here, Mark. An Indianapolis mother is reaching out to RTV6 for answers after she says she was not able to get through right away when she called 911 after her son had been shot. We have team coverage tonight looking into this issue. We start with RTV6's Megan Sanctorm, who took the mother's concerns to county leaders to figure out what happened and what you need to know to make sure your call is answered when seconds count.
You have reached 911 emergency dispatch. Do not hang up.
In a life-threatening situation, it's not what this mom wanted to hear. A recording telling her to stay on the line moments after her 19-year-old son was shot. According to call logs, she waited on hold for 1 minute and 38 seconds before hanging up and calling 911 again. That time, she hung up after waiting for 16 seconds. A dispatcher called her back right after that.
It's very disheartening that 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday that I can't get the police, we'll get 911 on the phone. Like, what's going on that we can't get anyone?
So we took her questions to leaders at the Marion County Dispatch Center. They tell us in this case, there were several factors that led to the delay. When she called about her son, 911 calls were also coming in for a hit and run accident, a reckless driver, and an unconscious person. They tell us her wait time was well above Marion County's average, which is currently 11.4 seconds. Another contributing factor is abuse of the 911 system. Leaders say about 60% of the calls that come in are not true emergencies.
That's very frustrating because there are emergencies coming through, like this lady and her son. They had that was a life or death emergency, and her call should have been answered a lot sooner, and it wasn't.
They also battle low pay for dispatchers, which leads to turnover and a 911 center that the county has outgrown. They're things this mom hopes are addressed sooner then later.
Luckily, my son is okay, but what if he wasn't? You know, and I don't want to think about that. But at the same time, what could have happened and how many other people this is happening to.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And leaders with the dispatch center want to remind you to not hang up if you call 911 and get a recording. They say calls are answered and returned in the order they're received, so calling back just ties up the system.
After that mother contacted us, we wanted to know how often other people experience similar delays. Call 6 Investigates Stephanie Wade has been comparing 911 wait times for the past 2 years to find out why some people have to wait longer than others.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
When you need help, seconds matter. And when people call 911, they expect to speak to a dispatcher quickly.
Your phone number, sir.
But in Tiffany Coker's case, she waited for 1 minute and 38 seconds before hanging up, then calling back a second time and waiting for 16 more seconds before waiting and hanging up again. A dispatcher eventually called her back. Call 6 Investigates requested the call log records from last year and this year, month by month, to see just how big of a problem this is, if at all. We found in 2019, the average wait time for someone to speak to a dispatcher was about 19 seconds. The Marion County Sheriff's Office tells Call 6 Investigates each year, June and July are always the 2 busiest months for the 911 center.
911, location of your emergency.
During that time frame, Coker called on June 14th. There were multiple active incidents throughout Marion County that might have caused the long wait time, including a hit-and-run accident with injuries, a reckless driver, a disturbance, an unconscious person, and more. The sheriff's office says they believe the 911 center has seen so much turnover because dispatchers in Marion County are paid significantly lower than surrounding counties. But they want to remind people, do not hang up. They answer calls in the order they occur. I'm Call 6 Investigates, Stephanie Wade.
Now, if you ever need help or want to expose a problem, email us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Outside, it feels like a race weekend, but inside, things will look very different this weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm Brad Brown at 16th and Georgetown. We'll take a look ahead to what will be an historic and unusual set of days here at IMS coming up.
A race car driver can't run on empty, and neither can you or I without food. The new campaign to provide 10 million meals and make sure no one runs on empty.
And don't panic, it's not this warm right now, but it will be. We'll let you know when we expect 95-degree heat in the Circle City when we come back.
Hey, and find the Jaguar that's perfect for you.
It's 8 weeks later than originally planned, and there won't be any fans inside to watch. But IndyCar and racing as a whole returns to the Motor Speedway this weekend. Brad Brown is live outside the main gate of IMS with a look ahead. And Brad, does it feel like race weekend over there?
It does, Amanda, in the sense that it's hot. The flags are up and blowing in the breeze, and about an hour ago, we watched more than a dozen IndyCar haulers make their way here into the main gate as they get set for the Grand Prix coming up on Saturday. Otherwise, there's sure to be some surreal scenes inside. As you said, no fans will be watching the races here this weekend. But as we take a look here at Gate 2, you can see the hashtag Back on Track means so much more than racing over the course of these next few weeks, and you can get a look at some of the improvements from the outside that have already been made. That brand new sign here at Gate 2 is indicative of some of the big improvements that have been made by the Penske company on the inside, and we look forward to seeing some of those in the week ahead. When it comes to the race this weekend on the IndyCar side, we'll be getting a look at Noblesville's Connor Daly driving for Ed Carpenter Racing, and he's going to be driving a sharp-looking number 20 U.S. Air Force Chevrolet for ECR this weekend. Connor had a start in the first race back at Texas with the Carlin team, ran in the top 10, a solid one there. So new team, new car, new operation, but has actually been with ECR since November, and they'll finally get a chance to race here this weekend. Connor has not been in the Grand Prix the last couple of years, though, so he is extra excited to get going here on Friday and Saturday.
I hate watching, and I've tried to work my way into it, but the way the Indy 500 one-offs work out is you got to save the car for that, that instead of trying to do the Grand Prix as well. So it's nice to be back. You know, after my very first year doing it in 2016 was probably the most emotional, one of the most emotional days of my racing career. You know, leading that race, passing Elio for the lead. I thought it was, you know, the coolest moment and the most special moment that I've been a part of in IndyCar.
Connor finished 6th in that 2016 race, and obviously will be looking to take some steps forward, perhaps find himself on the podium come Saturday. Now, the Grand Prix will actually start tomorrow with practice. They'll have a single practice session, starts at 11:30. IndyCar will then qualify on Friday afternoon, and the race will take the green flag just a little bit after noon on Saturday. Part of a very busy weekend here as well with NASCAR on the track. Coming up tonight on the news at 6, we will hear from the defending champion of the IndyCar Grand Prix. Simon Pagenaud talks about coming back to IMS as the winner from 2019 and defending that title here this weekend. Live at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Brad Brown, RTV6.
And Brad, when Colton Herta races around the track Saturday for the Grand Prix and in August for the 500, he'll also be raising awareness about hunger in our community. The Andretti Harding Steinbrenner Autosport driver will be behind the wheel of the number 88 Gleaners Food Bank of Indiana Honda. It's part of the No One Runs on Empty campaign that kicked off today at the Gleaners warehouse on the southwest side. The campaign will highlight the impact of food insecurity with a goal of providing 10 million meals to hungry Hoosiers and drive people to donate.
It's hard to believe this is in our backyard. I really didn't understand the enormity of how huge this facility is and what it does for our community. And you know, we're just so very, very proud to be a part of it. And we want to thank Anthem for stepping up and helping make all this happen as well. It's for such a great cause. You know, we are out here to make sure no one runs on empty.
Anthem will match all donations to the campaign, dollar for dollar, up to $1 million to provide 10 million meals to Hoosiers in need. You can donate at gleaners.org. And now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. And Kevin, it's going to be a hot one for Colton and the other drivers this weekend.
Well into the 90s. They're used to it. And we'll get used to it because it's going to be a week full of temperatures at 90 or above. The record, by the way, 103 for the 4th of July back in the early 1900s. A nice walk today on the canal. Actually, our humidity has been as low as it's been all week long. That's because of an east-northeast wind. Although the temperature hit 89 today, it didn't feel quite as bad because the humidity is down. I'm showing you radar. We won't need to look at it a lot as we go through the weekend, but I show it to you today just to point out between Springfield and Effingham, Illinois, there are some thunderstorms. Those are moving away from us. If we see a pop-up shower, thunder shower, it'd be in southwest Indiana. Headlines, rain chances low. Notice I said low, not 0 chance. There'll be a chance for a shower or thunderstorm Saturday afternoon. Temperatures are climbing and the humidity stays about the same. It won't be too humid, but when temperatures are in the low to mid 90s, that gets your attention anyway. There's what I mean by a low chance for rain. Consistent chance for rain Saturday through Tuesday, but through that stretch, I bet most of us get through it dry. Friday, 92. We sit there again on Saturday for the 4th of July. Take a little step forward toward more heat on Sunday. The warmest temperature will arrive Monday. Break your hourly forecast down for tomorrow. If you have off of work to get started on the 4th of July weekend, you've got a nice day to enjoy. Warm, lots of sunshine. 92 for the afternoon high temperature in Indy. Twin 93s for Bloomington and Columbus, lower 90s north of Indy. As you look at your Saturday forecast, hourly forecast, already by noon, almost 90. We're into the low 90s with that 20% chance for a shower or thunderstorm, mainly in that 2 to about 6 p.m. time frame. 7-day forecast, Monday is the day that we hit 95. The warmest temperature within my forecast, still 94. Tuesday in the 90s, Wednesday and Thursday. That's a rare 7-day forecast with each day at 90 or above. We'll be back with more news after this.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Talking about racism and racial inequality can be difficult. RTV6 and our partners at Radio 1 hope to help change that.
Tonight at 7, we'll be airing a commercial-free 1-hour town hall called a conversation on race connecting Central Indiana. Panelists will discuss where we are right now and how to move forward and how to deal with interactions with law enforcement. We spoke with Mayor Joe Hogsett and IMPD Chief Randall Taylor to get their view on the Black Lives Matter movement and what it means.
You cannot affirmatively say that all lives matter unless and until you are willing to acknowledge that Black lives matter.
Black lives do matter, and you know, I will admit, when I first heard that, I didn't totally understand really what all it meant until I looked deeper into it and realized that, you know, what the mayor said is true. Black lives do indeed matter. You know, I think the tendency is sometimes to say all lives matter. But I now understand that, like the mayor said, if Black lives don't matter, then really no lives matter at all.
Be sure and join us at 7 right here on RTV6 and on our digital platforms. It will also be simulcast on 3 Radio 1 stations.
His son deserves to know what happened to him. It's all he had.
Family members of a father shot and killed on the west side are not giving up hope on getting justice. Next at 5:30, details on the reward they are now offering.